sports fans. I'm Dudley Thompson, and welcome again now to Make We Talk Sports. And it's 96.0.1 on this year FM dial. Oh, let me take off the ID here. All right, 96.0.1 on this year FM dial. And this is another edition of Make We Talk Sports. All right, inside today's show, today we have horse racing, netball, track and field, and the football. And in terms of horse racing, we'll be touching on a topic that we've been ignored for many years in horse racing circles now when it comes to determining the standard of the sport in Jamaica. Is it better than before or is it worse based on the timings? Nowadays, grades are running compared to the grades of the past when it comes to horse racing. All right, on a sad horse racing note there, that four horses in Peru, they were shot and killed by unknown assailants, and they are related to Justify, the Triple Crown winner in Peru this year. So, 6-year-old horse, one called Lieutenant, and one called Kung Fu Mambo. Among those, they were killed. They said thugs invaded the farm in Peru and shot the watchman, and they proceeded to kill the four horses. Not sure exactly why, but someone going to a stable and proceed to shoot four horses. And the lieutenant and his 6-year-old half brother to Triple Crown winner, Justify, was one of four stallions he killed yesterday at the farm, and it's called the Peruvian farm. It is called the Arbalo Bonita farm by thugs who first shot the night watchman and proceed to kill the horses. Those killed are Cyrus, Alexander, Timely Advice, and the Kung Fu Mambo among those killed. And the police are still looking for suspects when they come on to that incident there in Peru. Really a sad note there. See the killings of horses inside Peru. All right, and welcome back. Welcome now again, and we continue on the sport of kings. And normally in sports globally, we saw records tumble every single year. Even our local boys and girls champs, when it comes to sport, record are set yearly, and they are broken yearly. We see it at the Olympic Games, boys and girls champ earlier. We also see it at swim meets, where records are set and records are broken. But when it comes to local Jamaican horse racing, we're seeing some records that are set years ago and look like they're not in danger of being broken. And trying to explain that's exactly why the records are here so long. I'm wondering if that the case where Jamaican horse racing are on the decline, or with that, in back in the days, there were the sand level on the track was lighter than the sand level of the track now, because years gone by, they said this and the track at Canas Park was lack of sand, but now they put on layers of sand, and that may explain as to why horses are running slower than horses like say 20 years ago. I did some digging over the weekend, and I look at some records that came and that set that are still in effect today. Like for instance, the 5.5 furlongs record, 5.5 furlong, the record is 1 minute, 5 furlong round. No, sorry, 5.5 furlong, yeah, 5.5 furlongs, and the record is 1 minute, 03.1 seconds. That record was set by a horse called Michel Magic, a 4-year-old horse, and it was set in 1997. And the rider was W. Griffiths, that over 22 years ago, trained by Philip Fiani then. And Jamaica produced outstanding sprinters over the last 10 years. We look at the 5 furlongs straight record. It's 54.47 seconds, set by a top horse then, the horse called Dijob, known as a Jamaican speedster. And Dijob set that record as a 6-year-old horse. Sorry, it's a 3-year-old, ridden by then great jockey Amelia Rodriguez, trained by Vin Edwards. And that was 34 years ago. Yes, 34 years ago. And these records at Cayman and Spark are looking like they are here to stay. Despite the advent of the great cheese and manita, these records look like they are not even in danger of going anytime. And at 6.5 furlong at Cayman Spark, or 1,300 meters, the great sprinter called Eros For those who are racing fans, remember Eros, and he set that record at 1 minute 16.3 seconds and carrying 126 pounds. Top weight then 126 pounds. At that time, Eros was a 6-year-old at the time, and that record was set on September 11, 1993, some 26 years ago. That record was set, written by Winston Fanner Griffith. So again, these records that Cayman Spark set so long and not seen that they're in danger, and it could be a case where we're wondering if the track officials might look at these times and make the record annul, because in those times the sand at Cayman Spark was a bit low in those days. And since the last 10, 15 years, they have increased the layer of sand on the track. So that might be the factor where the horses nowadays times are slower than say 20 years ago. When you look at the 7.5 furlong record, set by our standing one called Sky Train at 1 minute 29.2 seconds. That was set on May 7th, 1982-83, some 37 years ago. Sky Train set the record that came in a spark they use back then. All the Hunter records had boys and girls champion when they became electronic timing. So there's times at boys champs back then. I know all records I know by electronic timing. So I think that maybe came as part need to look into that as because these were hand timed some 20 and 30 years ago. We look at the when we see us like she's a Manita who dominated from 7 furlongs to 10 at Cayman Spark, and the record for 1 mile or 8 furlong is set by Eros. Also, at the recorded by Eros, and record was set by Eros when guy 126 pound some 26 years ago. Eros set the record for 1 mile at Cayman Spark. That record is still in effect, and the record is set from 1993, some 26 years ago. So we're still looking at wondering what will be up be the main thing when it comes to those now at Cayman Spark. All right, so I give you hope that the authorities will look at it and see how best they can address that issue. This is your sports feature, and we call it Make We Talk Sports 96.1 on your FM dial. All right, we're taking out quickly into cricket, and as you know, the West Indies they lost the third one international against India, and they lost the series by two to one. West Indies batting first made 315 for five of their allotted 50 overs, and India in reply made 316 for six of 48.4 overs, and Poran 78 and Pollard 74 were the top scorers for the West Indies team. So West Indies they lost their the series to India at 2-1. You know they won the first, the second, the level at one apiece. I know they lost the high scoring game 315 for five. That's the high scoring game there, and India made 316 for six of 48.4 overs to win the match by 5 wickets. So we'll try West Indies, but the Indian team was just a bit too strong on the day. So again, West Indies went down to India in the third and the final one-day international over there in India. All right, and we have some news on football now. I know football have a kind of a controversy when it comes on to the the women's coach at U Menzies and the Jamaica Football Federation. There been some back and forth talking when it comes to that. The Jamaica Football Federation, U Menzies, as to what really happening with football in Jamaica. We got off to a good start recently with women's football when we reach the World Cup. But right now, women's football like it's taking a beating right now based on what we are seeing so far. And the UMenze has now came out publicly at all different media houses and said he has resigned from the national program. But according to Football Federation boss Michael Ricketts. He said he's yet to receive a letter of resignation from Mr. Menzies. You only hear now that he resigned via the, the media.
Yes, so we take it that he has resigned. Into issues with Menzies. If I were the things that Menzies have done, it would cause all of us major excitement. So I will refrain from saying anything else. Just to say that Menzies not yet said to the JFF that he has a letter of resignation. But he tells the world and he tells every single media house that he has resigned. He has not said anything to the JFF. So we take it that he has resigned.
You heard there from the president of the federation, that's Mr. Michael Ricketts, and he said, "You Menzies, I tell the entire world, I tell resign as coach of the female football team, but yet still, he had not sent an official letter of resignation to the Jamaica Football Federation. They're still in limbo as to where exactly Mr. Menzies' headspace is at the moment. But in his mind, he has resigned, but he didn't do it the proper way. And they said there are issues with Mr. Hugh Menzies.
Just before the start, preliminary rounds of the Olympic qualifiers, Minister and I were on the phone, and the minister said, let me get in contact with the coach and have a three-way discussion. Menzies said to us that he cannot come to the first stage of the qualifiers because he has a board meeting to attend. And the next day, Menzies was on the radio saying that he's not coming because the JFF owes him money. And I am surprised, and every single media out think all kind of things except what his faults are and except the things that he has done that has upset the leaders of women's football and the children.
You're there from again from Mr. Michael Ricketts said Menzies says he was not he won't be available for the first game. He's been owed money from will be going to the women's program. The the General Secretary of the Jamaica Football Federation (JFF), Mr. Dalton Wint, and has confirmed that the seven clubs in the Women's and Premier League will be receive their FIFA payments before the end of the year 2019. And this yes, the Women's Club Benefit Program. So the federation receiving they received so far US $518, resulting from regular girls qualification to the Women's World Cup. So this money received from FIFA, $22,000, and they go toward women's program benefit and the clubs in the Women's Premier League. We're not hearing as to whether it will be going over to pay coaching salaries. So again, JFF received money from FIFA, $22,000 that will go directly to the clubs now playing in the Women's Football League and the club. The money will be shared between Harborview, Los Profectas, St. and Women's Rangers, Annette Gardens, Reno, and Waterhouse. And FIFA will be using the club benefit initiative to both domestic league and the domestic league across the globe. And they say that the government body will football want to make the US $8,000 payment to women's club worldwide through a benefit program. So the money that FIFA send is to benefit women's football, that to pay the coaches. So again, Hugh Menzies be up in arms again. That money came from the benefit from Jamaica qualifying for the FIFA World Cup. All right, and still on the football on football news now, and the young girl that was laid to rest on yesterday, and Plum was laid to rest yesterday. Although there are some issues at the funeral because of the length of the coffin and the vault, but that was sorted out. And Michael Ricketts also spoke. Yes, he also spoke out. He spoke at the funeral service for the young player.
Someone with such a future. Plum Plum wasn't a ordinary girl.
You also heard from Ali McNabb, who represented the minister, Bobsy Grange, at the funeral.
It's not about just loving your own family, it's loving people. We have lost tremendous talent.
That was Ali McNabb there, just speaking at the funeral service for the young girl who was slain in half a tree recently, and she was laid to rest yesterday. And also, her team members also spoke about her.
Be the best version of ourselves, and to see her life cut short is very unfortunate.
She had great potential. She's such a great player and an even better person, and it's not here anymore. It's kind of difficult to deal with.
Trying of things and pursue her dream, and that cut short. But such is life. We never question God. But we hope, send our prayers to the family, and hope that she lives in peace.
That was our team speaking, when tributes paid to her during the service that was held yesterday. This is Make We Talk Sports, 96.1 on the FM band, and all overseas. The English Premier League, the big talking point, the teacher, the student gave the teacher a football lesson in the English Premier League.
Saw Jose Mourinho, the new Spurs head coach, against his former club and his former pupil too, Frank Lampard, now the Blues manager. The West Londoners Brazilian star Willian getting the ball rolling here with a superbly taken opener in the 12th minute of play there. Really nicely taken. And the South American, cool as you like, from the penalty spot off the spot kick awarded by VAR. Spurs beaten 2-0 in their own backyard. But this once again, we're sad to say, about so much more than just results. Who won and who's where in the table. Elsewhere on Sunday in England's top flight, a horror show of a performance from Manchester United at bottom of the table, Watford, and a horror goalkeeping show as well from United's normally reliable David De Gea, whose comedic effort to try and keep out the Hornets there, well, just disastrous consequences for the Spaniard. Ismail Sarr must still be in disbelief, his tame effort bounding in the back of the red down there. And minutes later, United, making no mistake from 12 yards out, United, who won at champions Manchester City earlier in December, lose to bottom of the table Watford.
You have it there. Wow. So the teacher got a football lesson from the student in there. Jose Mourinho lost one of the player, to the manager here in the Barclays English Premier League. And in case you missed the other result there in the Barclays Premier League there for you. And Newcastle beat Crystal Palace by a goal to nil. Aston Villa went down 3-1 to Southampton. Wolverhampton Wanderers, they beat Norwich City by 2-1. And Manchester City, beat Leicester by 3-1. Watford was struggling, won 2-0 over Man U. And Chelsea, it beats Spurs. That's Chelsea there. Spurs by 2-0 in that encounter. That's how you see it there in the Barclays English Premier League. I will take a quick pause here for the cause. When it comes up more here inside Make We Talk Sports.
Protection, proper parenting, that's a part of the plan. Educate them about the right and wrong. Don't beat them, put down the belt, yeah man. Talk openly to your child about safety. I be a thing that one in the country of lately. If I them alone, don't make them go places. Teach them to run away from danger, don't face it. That's right. Protect the children, please. Me no want to see no bruise for them knees. No, protect the children, please. Especially in times like these. Why? Protect the children, please. Make them bloom like flowers and trees. Why? Protect the children, please. Me I beg you no. Protect the children, please. Bullying need to stop. Corporate punishment that need to stop. Beating a whip pot that need to stop. No let them alone and when the grill lock. But read the child care protection act. Best interest and safety them have that lock. Family support them will help with that.
A message from the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA.
Dengue advisory.
I am Dr. Jacqueline Bisesa McKenzie, Chief Medical Officer for Jamaica. Every case of dengue has the potential to become severe and life-threatening. Between 2018 and 2019, we have seen several dengue-related deaths. The majority were children under the age of 14. Persons with sickle cell disease, asthma, and the elderly are also at high risk. Search your surroundings for breeding sites and destroy them. This is every.
All right, and welcome back to Make We Talk Sports. That is 60.1 on the FM dial. Also live on our social media pages, WDT Media TV Live as well. It's inside Road Studios. All right, and local football continued on Sunday. It continued on Sunday, where we saw where Gardens and UA they played to a 12 scoreline. And they said it's a good game indeed there. So UA and Tivoli played to a 12 scoreline. We'll hear from both Andre Peart of UA and the assistant coach at Tivoli Gardens, Philip Williams, and they spoke after the game.
More difficult than how it is by not putting up passes. I think you played well. They were very efficient with the chances that they got, and they put them away. We were very wasteful in front of goal, and hence with the result that we got today.
Very disappointing in the way we threw away the result. They're leading 2-0 up, and then it's 10 minutes to go. We concede a penalty, which is totally avoidable because we got possession of the ball and choose to play it back where the opponents are. They won the ball, got a penalty, and then we just couldn't hold it out to the end. It's pretty simple. And if you calculate how many points we have dropped from winning positions, it's terrible.
Just heard there from coaches Andre Peart of UA and Philip Williams of Tivoli Garden, assistant coach. Then Tivoli Garden, coached by Glendon Admiral Bailey, is the technical director at Tivoli Gardens. All right, and Humble Lion, the team of Michel Anthony, and they beat Harborview by a goal to nil. And Port United continued to hit the walls on Ville United, and they went down by 3 goals to 1. We told you earlier that Ville United is one of those teams that is set to be eliminated from the Premier League. They come to an end next May. So Ville United is still finding it going tough in local Premier League. All right, 96.1 on this year FM dial is Make We Talk Sports. Here inside the show here for you. We give you all the sports you need here inside Make We Talk Sports. Alrighty, and as we continue here inside the program. Where's my? I can't find my phone. So make We Talk Sports. All right, look at the happenings now in a local Premier League there for you. I'll look at the standings in this competition. I can see exactly where the teams are, and there's no change at the top. As you can see right now, the top of the standings, Waterhouse lead the standings still on. They're currently on 38 points, and their 38-point Waterhouse team is up front on 38 points, and they're followed by Mount Pleasant in second at the moment on 35 points, and then behind Mount Pleasant they are followed there by Arnett Gardens in third, and they're currently on 30 points. And then we have Humble Lions in fourth, and they are currently on 30 points as well. And they're followed by defending champions Port United, and it comes next on 30 points as well, but they're based on goal difference. Why it comes down to the placings on the same point. Cavaliers, they have moved up to 6th position. That's the top 6 so far in the Premier League. If you look at the bottom half of the table, UWI is down there currently on 13 points, followed by Veer is also on 14 points as well. So UWI is on 15, Veer is on 14, and the shock surprise team of the moment, Mullins United, and okay, Marcy Williams, yes, Marcy Williams. Okay, Marcy Williams. Today is 23rd, not Okay, Marcy. Thanks, Marcy. Marcy Williams. I got my date right, wrong there on my start. Thanks, Marcy Williams, for that correction there. All right, 96.1 on the FM dial. And we're seeing we're very United is currently on 20 Mullins. See, Mullins with the surprise so far. They have won their first 6 games in the Premier League, and now they are now struggling. They're just above the relegation zone now. So Hewitt Mullins and Veer United are the teams now fighting to stay alive in the Premier League. Tivoli Gardens is just in 9th spot at the moment. Dublin Holdings up there, Harbour View, and they are just above the zone. But right now it is Tivoli Gardens, it is Mullins United, Hewitt, and Veer are the teams now battling in the relegation zone at the moment. Good at the moment. At the moment. All right. And it's 96.1 on this here FM dial. All right. Other results there in the Premier League: Cavaliers and Mount Pleasant. They played 20 scoreline, and tonight gonna be Dublin Holding and Arnett Gardens. We play in the Monday night features. If you also look at the football tables overseas now, we saw Liverpool is out front as usual. Liverpool, I must say congrats to Liverpool for winning the World Club Championships. All right, all right, the World Club Champion. Yes, Marcy, you're late, Marcy. We did spoke about that. Yes, Marcy Williams, we did spoke about the funeral service, and we played clips from Ali McNabb representing Mr. representing the sports minister, and also played clips from Michael Ricketts, and we also played clips there from the players. So you missed it, Marcy. You missed it. Okay, Marcy, you missed those ones. those Marcy. All right. So we continue here inside Make We Talk Sports. You're there from Marcy there. Hopefully there will no rain today. And Liverpool is out in front at the moment in the Premier League in England standings, and they lead so far the standings, and at the foot of the table still struck. That looks to be Watford as usual. Burnley, Newcastle is also down there as well. All right, and we're hoping that we can see some good matches come in Premier League next time around. All right, here is number 601, still on football now. That there's some news now. Jamaica Reggae Boys is still ranked at number 48 in the world, and they're hoping to maintain that number 48 ranking and be in the top 50, so they can qualify to play directly for the 2022 World Cup to be held in Qatar. So it is the Mexico, USA, and Costa Rica that leads the table. I think Mexico is ranked at 11th, USA ranked at 22, and Costa Rica is at 46, and Jamaica is at 48, the highest ranked team so far in the region. And Jamaica need to maintain that top 50 ranking to qualify to qualify directly, to play the qualifiers directly for the FIFA World Cup. If we drop outside the top 50, we have to go into a playoff and to play for one spot, a half spot, play up the sixth place team from Central America, no, from South America. That could be a tough order. Meanwhile, Belgium is FIFA's top team of the year, finishing top of the world ranking for the 2nd December in a row. So Belgium, lucky Belgium, Christmas for Belgium. They finish in the top team in the world for the 2nd straight December. They did last year and again this year. World champions France and it's in 2nd place with Brazil. Brazil in 3rd place at the moment. England is in 4th. Uruguay is in 5th. World Cup runners-up Croatia and Nations League finals winners Portugal joined Spain, Argentina, and Colombia as the top 10 team at the moment. Look at these teams now. So the best mover of the year is Qatar, who have gained 138 rankings points over the course of 2019. They climbed 38 places of rankings, the biggest jump recorded by any team, ahead of Algeria 32 and Japan 22. And look at the top 10. How many teams in the top 10 actually won the World Cup? All right, going on from memory. France won it in 1998. I can remember that. Brazil, yes, meantime winner, five-time winners in 1960, 62, 1970, 1994, 2002. Right, when they hear from memory now. Uruguay won the first World Cup back in 19. No, not the first one. They won in 1950. Yes, not the first one. They won in 1950. Uruguay beat Brazil in Brazil to win 1950. And Croatia lost to France in the last finals. And Portugal never win. So too is Colombia. Argentina won in 78 with with Mario Kempes. Yes, Mario Kempes 78, and Argentina won with Diego Maradona in 1986. So the two-time Argentina win the World Cup was 82 and 86 and 78. Italy won in 82 with Paolo Rossi. Yes, it's Paolo Rossi back then. So some team that never win the World Cup are now in the top 10 rankings in the world. What if we see a new winner this year? Like we saw in France in 1998. Croatia, in their very first World Cup in 98, when they qualified, they came third. In their first World Cup, they came third. Look at this trend now. Could we see a Croatia winning the World Cup in their third World Cup? If the trend continue, they came third in their first World Cup. They came second in their second World Cup last year. But could we see them winning in their third World Cup? We have to wait and see if the Croatian team can just do that. It would be a big thing to see Croatia winning the World Cup only in their third attempt, and team qualifying for many years. Like for instance, something very unlucky, like Holland. Oh, they're very unlucky. Holland reached the finals in 1974 and lost to Argentina. No, sorry, to Germany. I beg your pardon. And they lost to Argentina in 78 with Kempes, yes. And they lost to Spain again, about 2009, Spain when the last World Cup, they lost to Spain. So they're the only team to have been in the 3 finals and yet to win the trophy, the Dutch team. So the Dutch 3 times unlucky. Hopefully they can be lucky next time around whenever they get to another World Cup finals. All right, as we continue here inside Make We Talk Sports, 96.1 on this year FM dial, and still saddened there by the killing of those stallions back in Peru. It's a sad day for racing in that country, as Lieutenant, a 6-year-old horse, half brother to Triple Crown winner Justify, was one of 4 horses stallion killed in Peru at the Peruvian farm. Others killed were the horse called Cyrus Alexander Timely Advice, and the Kung Fu Mambo among those killed, and the police in Peru are still investigating. All right, and before we go, let's now pause now for our special feature here inside Make We Talk Sports. Still here on Roots 96.1 FM. The outstanding moment in the sports. Yeah, man. We go to that feature now, and it's the outstanding moment in sports. And we will go to Donald Quarry. To Don Quarry when he won the 100 meters at the Commonwealth Games in 1970, and the 200 meters at the Jubilee Games in 1977. Let's relive outstanding. Yeah, man. We say outstanding moment in sports here for you inside Make We Talk Sports here. And these are really some outstanding moments when it comes down to local sports. These moments, we have to relate for these moments and for our young people. Good moments in sports.
Off this time, and there it goes, Stuart going well, Quarry, and also Eddie going strongly, but he's not there. Coming through is the Crawford Halsey, but they come in, it's Quarry. Quarry comes through to win, and then Crawford and Eddie. So Jamaica first and second, Australia third, and Don Quarry, the 19-year-old freshman from Nebraska, wins the Commonwealth title.
Wearing number 8 in lane 4. Good American Gerald Pearl wearing 3 in lane 5. And then the great Don Quarry wearing 1 in lane 6. Drawn next to Hazley Crawford wearing 6 in lane 7. And Clancy Edwards of the United States in the outside lane. The Olympic champion Don Quarry of Jamaica wearing number 1 and in lane 6. Outside him. Hazley Crawford. They've already had one very close battle. The last time we saw Hazley Crawford, of course, he pulled a hamstring in the Olympic Games. Then Clancy Edwards, the fastest man in the world this year, just at 20.13. And these 3 great sprinters all outside David Jenkins in lane 4. It's got a tough task just to stay with them. It's a brilliant field. Probably the best we've ever had. Quarry running the bend magnificently on the shoulder of Hazley Crawford and past him. Clancy Edwards is still with him though on the outside. Crawford, Clancy Edwards, Hazley Crawford coming back. powering his bulk at them, but still Don Quarry holds a gap. Clancy Edwards will be second, Hazley Crawford third, and David Jenkins run well to finish fourth, beating Ainsley Bennett. What a fine run, and again a brilliant bend that meant that most of it was over by the time he came off. Don Quarry then wins the 200 metres. The time, unofficially, 20.6. 20.69 confirmed, but look at this for running a bend. And the British sprinters must learn an awful lot from this. Hazley Crawford gets powering away, and Quarry knows that he's got to do an awful lot of running in the first part of the bend. What wind there is against them. And Quarry, remember, in lane 6. For Jamaica, outside him in lane 7, the giant from Trinidad and Tobago, who pulled a muscle the last time we saw him, remember, in the Olympic Games. And he can't have that bend quite as conveniently or easily as Quarry. David Jenkins having a very good run. Jenkins running in lane 4. And it's sometime he's been down in the doldrums, but he's running better now. Look at Quarry. On the outside, Clancy Edwards coming up into second place, the man who leads the world rankings, chunky little man, and gets within a yard of Quarry. Hazley Crawford in third, and there's David Jenkins returning to something like in fourth place. Quarry's time 20.69, and Clancy Edwards 20.78 and 20.92 for Crawford.
All right, that does conclude there our outstanding moment in sports. There you heard there, you see Don Quarry winning the 100 meters at the Commonwealth Games in 1970, and he came back 7 years later with the 200 meters at the Goodwill at the Jubilee Games over there. And this feature came up when I went to a match some time ago, and I saw some young people who were convinced that sprinting in Jamaica begins with Asafa Powell and Usain Bolt. You ever heard of Don Quarry? Or even Otti? So I was like, wow, these youngsters don't know anything about their history. They're of the view that great Jamaican sprinting began with Usain Bolt and Asafa Powell and Sheldon Fraser Price and V.C. Campbell Brown. Was like, oh, I was shocked in awe that the young people would have a clue about the past greats like the Bernard Ottis, the Don Quarries, and the Arthur Wayne, the Herb McKinley, and we can go, list goes on. So that was that conversation that spun this feature to really give that young people say, hey, you're living just now, but you have to know about the past to have a way to answer the future. So that was Don Quarry winning the 100 meters. And Don Quarry, for those who don't remember, he went to Olympic Games in 1968 as a schoolboy from Camperdown, and he got injured in 68. He came to Olympic Games 72 as one of the top favorite alongside a Russian called Valery Barzov, and he got injured again, and he came back to the Olympic Games in Montreal 76, and he won the Olympic gold medal. He won the Olympic gold, beating the two Americans, Clancy Edwards and Dwayne Evans, in that event. And that was the first Olympic in many, many moons that the Americans failed to win a sprint gold medal. That year it went to Quarry, the 200 meters, Trinidad win the 100 meters, and Cuba win the 400 meters. So first time in many, many years the Americans failed to win. And for those who are asking that, yes, 1964, 9th Olympic Games, Jamaica didn't win any medal at all. At one, I can remember offhand that Olympic Games, Jamaica came back medalless. Olympic Games in 1964. Not even one bronze we won that Olympic 64 Olympic Game. Jamaica came back not even a medal. We won 1 silver in 68 Olympic Games. We were medalless again in 72. So, but we won. But we had good medal hauls in 1948 and 52. But we had a lull in the 60s until 68. And 72, none. 76 Olympics, one gold and 1 silver. 8 Olympic Games, we had 3 bronze medals. I think 84, we had 2 silver and a bronze. 84, 88 silver again. And then we have start with gold 96 with Dion Hemmings start again. Dion Hemmings won the gold in 90 Olympic Games. And then the beginning of the Bolt era, it all came to a big crescendo. The Bolt era, when it began to win, going into double figures. The entire Bolt era started a big medal trend for Jamaica in the Bolt era. But for those who didn't know about those, they started both, and Asafa, it started way before them. And again, I think I said earlier in another program that the fact that the first Jamaican world class sprinter was based locally, his name was G.C. Foster. Right? He was trained at Wilmer's Boys School there, and he trained at Wilmer's Boys School, and became the fastest sprinter in the world about 1899 to about 1905. The fastest sprinter in the world was a Jamaican, but in those days, Jamaica was not part of the Olympic movement, so he couldn't go to Olympic Games then. But that time, it was the fastest man in the entire world, G.C. Foster, back then. All right, so as we continue inside our Neck we Talk sport, I must say the Sunshine Girls netball team so far, they have ended the year again as the fourth ranked team in the entire world, behind Australia, who regained the world ranking, and New Zealand, as usual, is second. England is third, and this time the Sunshine Girls is fourth. We're just ahead of South Africa. So despite the losses to South Africa in the World Cup qualifiers, in the World Cup actually playoff, Jamaica maintained Jamaica dropped actually to fourth. They were third some time ago, dropped to fourth now. So Jamaica ended the year as the fourth ranked team in the world. And also, let's say congrats to Alia Atkinson for being again, she won the Swami Award. For the Swami, the Grammy, the Jammy, the Swami for swimming, the Swami Award for the fifth time. And again, and she's a world record holder there for Alia Atkinson, and I'm not sure, but she's one of the greatest the greatest swimmer of them all. But she yet to win an Olympic medal, but she has done well in the pool, world record holder. And I heard some media also saying that she's the first black swimmer to hold the quick to point out. And she's the first black swimmer to actually hold a world record. I don't know if it's a racial thing, but when I remember that Christopher Lamentire from France is the first Caucasian to run 100 meters below 10 seconds. Nobody pointed out that he's the first Caucasian to run 100 meters below 10 seconds. No, he's the only white sprinter to run 100 meters below 10 seconds legally. But no one seems to make a big deal of that. But with Ali Atkinson, when break a record, so quick to point out that she's the first black to do that. But when the first for a Caucasian, it never really point out. So not getting racial, but that's reality. You have to point out things sometimes as to how sometimes media some media phrase things when it happens sometimes. All right. As you wind down the Make We Talk Sports for another day, let's welcome our viewers there on the social media. All right. And we see Marcy Williams again. We have seen some viewers, but I don't see any comments as yet. I didn't invite comment this time around. Also, I didn't invite any comments this time around. I want to see Marcy saying, what about the funeral for Reggae Girl funeral? Marcy Williams. Marcy Williams. All right, Marcy. All right, we recap here inside Make We Talk Sports again. To wind down the show for another day. Well, to remind you that quick for those who just joined us, quick recap here. And in the Barclays English Premier League, we saw earlier, with Newcastle, they beat Crystal Palace by a goal to nil. Aston Villa beat Southampton beat Aston Villa 3-1. Wolverhampton Wanderers beat Norwich 2-1. Manchester City, they beat Leicester by 3-1. Watford beat Man U 2-0. And Chelsea, they beat Spurs by 2-0. And also, that happened today in the field of sport. India, they beat West Indies by 2-1 to win the series. West Indies in the last encounter, they made 315 for 5 of their allotted 50 overs, and India in reply made 316 for 6 with 48.4 overs with lots of ball to spare. And Poran from for West Indies 78, and Pollard captain made 74 were top scorers for the West Indies team. And also, we will look at the Reggae Girl Plum, her funeral service went off on yesterday. We heard from Michael Ricketts, who gave tribute to her, and also Ali McNabb, representing the Minister of Sport, and also the teammate paid tribute to her during that event. And we also looked at oh, we missed out this one. The CONCACAF Champions League debutant Portman United will face off against six-time champions Cruz Azul in the round of 16 that begins February next year. The draw for the last 16 of CONCACAF Champions League took place in Mexico City last Monday. Portman United will head coach Ricardo Gardner stated that the match against Mexican club will be very difficult, and Portman United will host 92-year-old Mexican club in Jamaica at the stadium in the first leg, and return leg will be played and the home go at the Azteca. Wow! And for those who remember the Azteca, that's a good place to play football at the Azteca. The place that Jamaican don't like to play, the Azteca. Well, Jamaica they try to win. Well, Jamaica, Portmore, try to beat them at the stadium because the Azteca's high altitude is something different to talk about. And Jamaican don't have good memories at all of playing the Azteca. Reggae went there against Mexico and Rene Simon and got beaten 6-0. If we go back to 1968, they got 8-0 in the Azteca. And the best result there was a 1-1 draw against Mexican team Reggae Boys. So Jamaica don't have a good record when it comes to playing football in the Azteca. And I think, and I find it fun that they plan to ban some stadiums because of they plan to ban one in Bolivia because of high altitude. But yes, still, the Azteca never mentioned to be banned based on altitude. But the Azteca and their high altitude is really a problem for most players they travel to play in Mexico. So again, so Jamaica, that's Portman United. They're the last year reigning champion in local football. They'll be taking on the Mexican club. That's Cruz Azul in the round of 16, and it begins next February next year. The first leg, the draw took place in Mexico City of last Monday. So Portmore head coach Billy Gardner, wow, it's going to be a difficult game against that club, and the club has been around for the past 92 years. And the first game at the stadium and the second leg, will be in the dreaded Azteca Stadium. We also looked at the horse racing records that were set many years ago, and maybe the Canadians need to look at these records and just get them off the books and look at the best time recorded by horses since they have the new timing system and the new heavier track. Because you look at a record like the 5 furlongs, 7.5 furlong Sky Train record was set in 1983. Some 30 odd years ago, record was set by Sky Train, and the record for a mile, we have seen the horse like Cheese and Manita dominating from mile up, and the record is set by Eros. The record was set 26 years ago and is still in effect up until this day. 5 furlongs straight, 57.4 seconds by Die Job in 1985, at what 34 years ago, and the 6.5 furlong record is set by Eros, 116.3, carrying 126 pounds. That's set in 1993, 26 years ago. So all these records that Kevin has barred, they need to look at them as to why no horse nowadays can even come close to those records. Something like this, we saw what 49. This is 10.71. Sheldon Fraser Price. No other sprinter have come close to Flojo 10.49. Not today, and the record is still on the record books. All right, so on that note, now we come now to the end of Make We Talk Sports 96.1 on this year FM dial. And thanks for your company inside today's show. All right, we're touch a lot today: horse racing, football, netball, track and field, and our outstanding 1970 and 1977. So have for yourselves a wonderful day, and again, keep it locked to us here 96.1 on this your FM dial. And this has been Make We Talk Sports.